I'm quite happy on my own. Now I've got to put up with a silly girl who likes frocks and dolls, and two stupid boy cousins. Anne felt that they had made a very bad beginning. She said no more, but got dressed herself too. She put on her gray jeans and a red jersey. George put on jeans too, and a boy's jersey. Just as they were ready, the boys hammered on their door. "Aren't you ready? Is Georgina there? Cousin Georgina, come out and see us." George flung open the door and marched out with her head high. She took no notice of the two surprised boys at all. She stalked downstairs. The other three children looked at one another. "She won't answer if you call her Georgina," explained Anne. "She's awfully queer, I think. She says she didn't want us to come because we'll interfere with her. She laughed at me, and was rather rude." Julian put his arm round Anne, who looked a bit doleful. "Cheer up," he said. "You've got us to stick up for you. Come on down to breakfast." They were all hungry. The smell of bacon and eggs was very good. They ran down the stairs and said good morning to their aunt. She was just bringing the breakfast to the table. Their uncle was sitting at the head, reading his paper. He nodded at the children. They sat down without a word, wondering if they were allowed to speak at meals. They always were at home, but their Uncle Quentin looked rather fierce. George was there, buttering a piece of toast. She scowled at the three children. "Don't look like that, George," said her mother. "I hope you've made friends already. It will be fun for you to play together. You must take your cousins to see the bay this morning and show them the best places to bathe." "I'm going fishing," said George. Her father looked up at once. "You are not," he said. "You are going to show a few good manners for a change, and take your cousins to the bay." "Do you hear me?" "Yes," said George, with a scowl exactly like her father's. "Oh, we can go to the bay by ourselves all right, if George is going fishing," said Anne, at once, thinking that it would be nice not to have George if she was in a bad temper. "George will do exactly as she's told," said her father. "If she doesn't, I shall deal with her." So, after breakfast, 4 children got ready to go down to the beach. An easy path led down to the bay, and they ran down happily. Even George lost her frown as she felt the warmth of the sun and saw the dancing sparkles on the blue sea. "You go fishing if you want to," said Anne when they were down on the beach. "We won't tell tales of you. We don't want to interfere with you, you know. We've got ourselves for company, and if you don't want to be with us, you needn't." "But we'd like you, all the same, if you'd like to be with us," said Julian, generously. He thought George was rude and ill-mannered, but he couldn't help rather liking the look of the straight-backed, short-haired little girl, with her brilliant blue eyes and sulky mouth. George stared at him. "I'll see," she said. "I don't make friends with people just because they're my cousins, or something silly like that. I only make friends with people if I like them." "So do we," said Julian. "We may not like you, of course." "Oh," said George, as if that thought hadn't occurred to her. "Well, you may not, of course. Lots of people don't like me, now I come to think of it." Anne was staring out over the blue bay.